Hi guys, it's Angela with Create Your Future, and I am back today with a new video. I guess I consider this kind of a part 2 in seeing your specific person conform to your desired story. I had a video on seeing your specific person conform just recently, and there were a lot of comments on that. So I want to address those comments and answer some questions and help you guys with some of the things that you were bringing up in the comments. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. I do also want to remind you that we are giving away a course, and it's had some amazing feedback. This is a great opportunity to get a course for free. So look in the description box, and there are links that tell you what you have to do, how to get to the free course. Also, if you check in the description box, you can find my course, Awaken to I Am. I am really proud of this course because it's super foundational. It's got all sorts of information about the process of manifesting, what's going on in your brain as you're thinking on new stories and intentionally creating desired outcomes. And even if you have been manifesting intentionally for a long time, I think it's just very encouraging because understanding kind of behind the scenes is what boosted my faith. So realizing kind of if you look just a little bit maybe at the scientific end or what studies are showing goes on as we're thinking what's really happening, those things are super encouraging for me, and I think they would be for you as well. So check out my course down below in the description box. And if you want to work with me one-on-one, sign up in our description box to have a coaching session. So that's everything that I needed to share with you. All right, let's get into this video. So remember, when you want to see a change in a specific person, anybody at all in your life, doesn't have to be a romantic partner, the change always occurs within you first, right? Everything has to happen internally. And so where we manifest from is the present moment, the powerful now moment. Because if you're looking out at the 3D and if you are allowing that to affect you emotionally, then you are allowing the past to come into your next experience. Because what you see right now in the 3D, that's the old story. That's old news. That is just reflection of old thinking, old thoughts. And the 3D cannot create unless you give it your attention, unless you focus on it. So I want you to keep that in mind. That's so very important. The 3D, no matter what it looks like, how bad someone is showing up, how negative the behavior is that you might be seeing from someone, that does not really have power to shape the next experience unless you give it your attention and you begin to focus on it and you begin to basically say, oh, I want more of that, because that's what you're doing when you focus on the now moment, on the current situation. So what we do is change internally. And, as Neville said, there is no one to change but self, right? It's all within. So keep that in mind, because your person is just showing up based on your story that you have experienced internally, and you're seeing it push out, all right? So one of the comments somebody put on my recent video about seeing your specific person conform is, what do you do when you're getting abusive texts or, some really negative interaction, basically from your specific person? First and foremost is take your attention off of that. If need be, block those texts, right? Don't interact with it. Don't give it your energy. Withdraw internally and begin to see a new story. So basically, you're going to create that version that you want within by having a different type of conversation internally with your person. Begin to see them, affirm for them to send you positive things. What is it you want to hear from your person? Encouraging things, kind things, supportive things. Whatever it is that is the opposite of what you're getting in that abusive messaging. And in my opinion, you don't have to do this, but in my opinion, a boundary in this kind of situation is very helpful, especially if those text messages that you're getting are triggering you emotionally. And I think they probably would. If it was in my life and I was getting a lot of abusive, negative things come from my specific person, in text messages, that would be hurtful. So, you can create a bit of a boundary there. You don't have to interact with them as often in the 3D, and you can block those text messages so you don't have to see them. Because if you're continually seeing those things come in, if your eyes are focusing upon them, if you're reading them, mentally you are creating images, you're giving it attention, and you're probably just going to continue to see that push out because it's getting your attention. So create a bit of a boundary. It's temporary, but it's just so that you can begin to focus on this new story of your person. And I probably, if you're getting really abusive, negative text messages, that's disrespectful. There's a bit of a self-concept issue in your own life that it would be helpful to work on. So along with affirming, visualizing, scripting new things about your specific person, that they are now interacting with you with kindness, respect, gentleness, affirm things for yourself. I am treated with respect. I am worthy of respect. I am treated with kindness. Anyone in my life is going to show me kindness and gentleness and respect. Begin to affirm those things for yourself and have this new story about who you are. So you're going to create affirmations about your person, about the kind of behavior that you want from them. And you're going to also create affirmations for yourself. Affirm that you are the kind of person that brings out the very best version in everyone in your life. So for this person that's been showing up in a negative way, but also for everyone, that's who you are. Create a very strong story about yourself, your worth, and how people show up for you. That's kind of how I would address that situation and keep a bit of a boundary there. Because if you allow that behavior to continue and it's triggering and hurting you, it's almost as if you're affirming for it. You're agreeing with it. You're saying, I'll take more of this. I will tolerate it. I think that that's all I'm worth, so I'm going to allow it to continue. So, put a bit of a boundary there and no longer interact with it, and put your attention now on the things that you do want, on the way you want your person to show up. All right. Some other things that people asked about were depression, seeing physical changes in your specific person, maybe a weight loss, seeing them beautiful, handsome, showing up with a different physical appearance, having your person quit smoking, quit drinking, getting over addictions, all of those things. I'm going to kind of lump those together because all of those things are just based on your perception of how this person is going to show up for you, right? So you're just simply changing that story. You are focusing in this powerful moment right now on what you want to see show up in the future 3D experience. Focus on it right now. And I want to remind you that anything that you can think of, any outcome, anything that you can visualize, that exists, that version of your person that is at a healthy weight, that is beautiful, that is handsome, that is free from drugs, alcohol use, nicotine addiction, that is free from depression, anything that you can think of, that exists right now. That version is there. If it wasn't a possible outcome, you wouldn't be able to think about it. You wouldn't be able to put your attention on it. And even if at the beginning it seems really impossible, you feel very separate from it, it seems like something that might never happen, that's okay in the beginning, because your brain is just basically saying, wait a minute, this isn't it's not how we see this person. This isn't how this person's been showing up. Your brain's going to just go back to that routine that it's familiar with. Okay, it's going to go back to just this routine of thinking, oh, my person is overweight. My person isn't really that attractive. My person is so addicted to alcohol and nicotine. My person is always depressed and sad. Your brain's just going to pull you back, or try to pull you back into that routine where it's comfortable, right? It's just comfortable. That's the pattern that exists. So you now just override that by persisting in the new story. Take your attention off of the old story about your person and begin to put your attention on the new story, whatever the new story is. And the more you do that, the more you stay consistent with this mental diet, the more it's going to begin to feel natural. It's going to begin to feel possible. Eventually, you're just going to think, well, of course this has happened. Of course they are now sober. Of course they're past this nicotine addiction. Of course they're at a healthy weight. Of course they're mentally stable and they have peace and joy in their life. You stick to that story and you're going to begin to feel comfortable with it, and you're going to begin getting that evidence. So it's not necessary to really believe in it at first. It may begin to feel, slowly and gradually like it could happen. You might begin to feel like it could be possible. And the more you do that, it's going to begin to feel natural. You're going to begin to have like an expectation about it. So I want to give you a few affirmations to use on these specific things to kind of get you started with it. So if your person is depressed, if they have depression in their life, write down the things that you don't like, what you're seeing. If they are sad all the time, if they're speaking negatively, if they have a negative outlook on life, change that story. So you're going to say things like, my person now is just intrinsically happy. My person is speaking more positively on a daily basis. My person is now adopting a positive outlook about life, about us, about the relationship, whatever it is. Just create this new story. If your person is struggling with weight loss, you're going to affirm, I'm so happy that they are now adopting a healthy lifestyle. I'm so happy that my person is eating healthier. I'm so happy that the weight just is coming off. I'm so happy that my person is now exercising. Anything that you can think of that supports seeing them differently in a healthy body at a healthy weight. Same thing for physical appearance, right? Just affirm, my person just is so attractive to me. They look amazing. They look youthful. My person looks very young. Create, this story about how beautiful or how handsome they are to you. You're just creating that belief within. Now, if you have someone that is addicted to alcohol, to drugs, to nicotine, again, you're going to just create a new story around those negative things that you see. So if it's nicotine, you could have an inner conversation as well. You might have a conversation where your person is saying, I am so grateful that I am free from this addiction to nicotine, to smoking cigarettes. I am so happy that I have been freed from alcohol use and alcoholism or whatever it is that's going on in my life. I am so happy that I'm free from drug use. I'm so thankful that I have a healthy lifestyle now. I'm so thankful that I'm free from any addictions. I'm so thankful that, I feel better and I look better and my body's healthy and I'm mentally and emotionally healthy. You could script this out. You could write it all out. My person now is free from, any negative habits, any negative lifestyle choices. My person now is making great choices. My person is stable and free from all addictions. So you simply just create that belief within you that they are free and that they're living a healthy lifestyle now. And remember, it's all based on your internal story, your perception of them. There are infinite versions of every person in your reality. And when you are focusing on that version that you want of your person that is happy, your person that is at a healthy weight, your person that is beautiful, your person that is free from any addictions, it is like you are speaking to that version and you are calling it into your reality. It's listening for your voice. Your voice is your attention. It's listening, and you are aligning to that version in that experience. Now, when you continue to see those negative things for a time, you will, right? Because you're transitioning. Just ignore those things. If you have abusive behavior, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, maybe put a boundary there so that you don't have to see it, so that you don't acknowledge it, you don't give it attention. But ignore those things that you see and put your focus on the internal story, because that is the reality. In this moment, you are choosing the next experience by where you focus. Remember that 3D is powerless. It does not have the power to create. It's only your attention, your focus on the internal story that has the power to create. So when you're seeing those negative things, take your attention off. Remove yourself from it if possible. And if you need to, if it's triggering, put your attention on that internal story, on that mental diet. Focus on it. Remind yourself this powerful now moment is how I'm creating this new experience. This experience where my person is showing up the way I want them to. Sober, free from addictions, healthy, beautiful, happy, all of those great things that you want, guys. It's your internal story that's going to push out. You can do this. I've got clients that have done it. I have done it in my own life. It's so possible to see somebody show up in a different way, no matter what the current 3D is showing you. Just remember, the current 3D does not have power. Your internal story in this now moment is where the power exists. And it is the power, it's the only power. So put your attention there on all the beautiful, wonderful things that you want to see for your person. And if you want more help with this, book a session. I've helped clients create new versions of their specific person, romantic, family, a boss, whatever it is. I've done it in my own life. I've seen changes with family members, different people in my life, friends. This is so doable, okay? So I intend that this has been so helpful for you, and I would love to work with you if you feel like, maybe you're stuck and you need some help just getting over that hump to get to that place where you can believe in a new story, in a new version of your person. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.